The Bears. Welcome in, everyone, to Barely Educated, the podcast by Bears fans for Bears fans. I'm Mark, joined as always by Chris. We are here to discuss who we would like the Bears' next head coach to be, who we want to draft at the top of the draft. Wait, no.
Nope.
Sorry, old bad habits. Is this the first time there's been a playoff game with the Chicago Bears in it that this podcast gets to quote unquote cover? I believe so.
Yes, it is, because episode 2, I remember, was the first emergency pod for drafting Justin Fields. And that was a year after.
The mistakes we make.
We did. Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm ready to litigate that one. But yeah, it's the week after the last game of the regular season. We're supposed to be on pins and needles with coaching rumors. And I'm like, still kind of fun to follow from a distance. Wait a minute, the Bears have a playoff game. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what I think of this game. I am a complete mess trying to figure out this game.
I know. And I'm having trouble sorting out what do I really think and how much is just past trauma from continually losing to this Green Bay Packers team. You know,
yep. And I've told, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm having trouble being objective. That's all.
Yeah, sure. I told both Cousin Nate.
Cousin Nate.
Drink.
Cousin Nate.
Clutch. he's going to die, but he got it in. And Cousin Nick. That if you can try to do this, I think you'll feel better. If you just looked at everything going on with the opponent coming in, and you just put different jerseys on the traits. Their injuries, their run game, their defense, their pass rush, their corners, their QB, who's actually pretty good, their coach, who's pretty good. You'd be like, yeah, there's some things they do well, but we can handle them and they can handle us. It's pretty close. You know, if they were wearing the jersey that said Saints on it,
yeah,
like how much different would it feel? And so my point is, it's silly for us to get worked up about the Packers part, but I also kind of can't help it.
Yeah.
Exactly
how I feel.
I totally disagree with people saying if the Bears lose this game, it like mars the season and all that kind of stuff. But I also think if they win, it validates a lot of things. So I'm kind of like guilty of having it both ways. But I still think you won the division. You fulfilled my number one goal, which was 2 parts from August, right? Feel good about the coach and the quarterback / their pairing. I think we all do. And so part of me is like, okay, Mark, yeah, it'd be great to win playoffs, big game. It's been a long time since you got to watch a playoff game that mattered. I don't even count 2020. Like,
yeah, no,
I had zero optimism going into that nonsense.
Yep.
It was the COVID year. They were the first team to be a 7 seed. It just didn't feel right at all. So, I mean, in my mind, it's back to the Eagles in 2018.
Yeah.
7 years. I know it's 5, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of the emotion of processing a playoff game and trying to be rational, and then the league's like, here you go, have the Packers on Saturday night. It might be snowing.
Yep.
If your inner meatball is not just bursting at the seams, I think you might need to check your pulse. I'm going to try my absolute best to be rational about whatever the outcome is in the big picture. I think this season is a roaring success.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to be a totally insufferable weirdo for 3 hours on Saturday because it's just not going to be possible to sit there and be like, well, you know, the Bears did win the division and Caleb looks good and I don't care that they're down 10-3 at the half. I'm going to care.
Yeah.
So we can all lie to ourselves if we want. But here's the rub. Everybody else seems to be taking this as a pick'em.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, every line I look at flops back and
me.
forth between like Bears 1.5 or Packers 1.5, and it's just been bouncing that way all week.
And I can't sit here, Buddy Brian. I can't sit here and say I'm confident with the way the Bears looked in Week 18. I think that was Ben's worst game, start to finish. The approach, it looked to me like they were doing a really generic game plan, and then he actually confirmed that they did less shifting in motions and made it simpler. Okay, because you don't want to give Green Bay anything else to look at, because you're wanting to see if guys can just win one-on-one without you scheming so much. I don't know what the point of that is when you're playing the starters. I don't care if you rest or if you go for it with the two seed on the line. I thought he tried to have it both ways, and I thought they came
Mm,
out flat and looked like crap, and that kind of lingers in the back of my head as we approach this more important game.
hmm
And then part of me is like, yeah, well, it's kind of human nature. The letdown, maybe it's good they had the letdown. I saw people speculating that Ben wanted him to have the letdown so he could get onto him and chew him out and get him good and angry for the Green Bay game. I'm like, oh, so we're gonna jump on top of the pile in the kickoff again. It's like, I think they'll
Right,
be amped up. I don't think
dude.
that's gonna be the issue.
Yeah.
More specifically, this team is getting killed the last few games in time of possession. And the way Ben wants to play is run the ball, big chunk plays. They haven't gotten off to a good start running the ball in a few games either. Maybe Cleveland. I don't even know how much you want to put on the Cleveland game. I'm worried the Bears peaked against Philly,
Ooh, that's
but
a
I'm hoping Ben dialed back the motions. They were doing a great job getting the tight ends into space and the receivers into space where the run was going, and that let the guards hit the second level. Like they were doing all kinds of really fun stuff in the block scheme for these when the run game was clicking. And I'm wondering if he's like, okay, I know we can do this, and I'm gonna unleash it again later. That's what I'm hoping, but I might be also coping because I think this game is gonna come down if the Bears can run the ball and get off to a better start and not get annihilated in the time of possession
right.
and be good both directions in the red zone.
Yeah, the offense was good in the San Francisco game, which
Eventually,
was well, they answered
they did. They
pretty
did. I
much
mean, they
every
got it,
score.
but they still stunk the first two possessions, and it was immediately they're in a big hole.
Yeah,
And then they bounced back.
they did. Yeah, just that was just in reference to your
Right.
peaked against the Eagles comment. I mean, the run game seems definitely to have
Well,
peaked
as a team, I think
against the
they
Eagles.
peaked, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it was
The
definitely
defense hasn't been good since.
yeah, it was definitely the best win of the year because of the quality of the opponent and where it was. So
And the completeness of it. You didn't
yeah,
feel
right.
like, oh, we snuck one out
hmm
because Caleb's clutch, which is a great thing to have in your back pocket.
Yeah,
I would just love for the Bears to come out and just gash him on the ground and just let him know it's going to be a long night. This isn't what we were doing last time. Have fun. I want
that'd
to
be
give
great.
my defense the chance to sit around and do nothing because when they're on the field for the first 60 yards, they're also just going to be standing around doing nothing. So you might as well let them sit there. I mean, the defense has, I think, talent issues. And so this team relies on the offense. If you want to blame the
Right.
offense for the Detroit game, I get it because the defense is shorthanded and the pass rush stinks. But the whole defense looked a step slower than Detroit.
Yep.
That gives me
hmm
nightmares going into Christian Watson and Jaden Reed. And
You're right.
it's just like, is that what they are? Like, what happened to the secondary playing above its weight? What happened to the
Oh
backup
man.
linebackers playing good, and now the starters are back and the linebackers are playing bad? I am having a hard time with how the defense has looked.
Yeah, it's part of
But
that.
then you look at it and it's like 19 points. It's like they
Yeah.
buckle up in the red zone, but they don't get off the field. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying there was a lot of man coverage that the Bears ran that they just looked a step or two behind the receivers all game. And but why were they running that when it clearly wasn't working, or was it just trying to hide stuff from the Packers? I don't know, but yeah, it
I don't
just
know.
the defense that they looked terrible. I can't believe the Lions scored what 19? Was that the final score? Something
Yeah. So I mean, I
19-16.
get what Ben said, right? Like we let we they allowed few enough points for us to win, and we didn't
Yeah,
get it done.
but it didn't feel like that. It felt like a blowout again.
Well, they had a turnover in the red zone. They had a
Yeah,
turnover or two on downs, and they had a bunch of field goals.
yeah,
Because
okay.
yards in time of possession, again, they're getting killed in time of possession. It just seems like a very unsustainable formula the last little bit, and a lot of it is the defense can't get off the field. But the offense has to quit with the slow starts.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Start.
absolving them entirely. I thought Detroit game was one of the worst games for the O line, just in terms of like no run fit. I mean, it seemed
Yes,
like Detroit had answers for all that kind of stuff.
and
Didn't
no
pick up the blitz well a couple times.
Trapillo. Does he have that much of an impact on the
Yeah, and
rest
did
of
you
the line?
happen to see? I know you noticed it during the game. You mentioned everything's going to the right.
Yeah.
Did you see the chart for Caleb's passes? It's crazy. It's like three to the left and everything else is to the right.
Oh,
Even
interesting.
in
Okay.
passing, which is like, why would that matter? You have to like send chip help and stuff like that to the tackle, but it wouldn't affect like, okay, there's an out route to the left. But it was bizarre. Like it just looked very half baked, and I'm trying to just like ignore that and think about the season the Bears had coming into this game.
Hmm.
But I'm all of this is to say I have no idea what to expect because I think what the Bears' identity had been run the ball like crazy, get a ton of turnovers, Caleb in the fourth, and chunk plays from Caleb. We've only gotten the last two out of those in the last 4 or 5
Yeah.
games.
Right.
And they can't win if they don't win the turnover battle or run the ball really well. One
Yeah.
of the two has to happen.
Hmm. Yep. And the last time they beat the Packers, it was the turnover. Well, in the form of the onside kick
Yeah. And
that
you
they
had
got.
both teams think they just barely didn't sweep the other, which is pretty interesting. I mean, the margin for error is razor thin.
Hmm.
We can pretty much lock that part in.
Yeah.
So it should be a lot of fun and stressful and exciting and who knows. I have no idea how to predict it.
Yeah.
We can come back to that in a minute. One of the things I like though is if you've been paying attention to the quotes from players on both teams, Packers are like, we want revenge, and Josh Jacobs talked about how they thought the hit on Love was dirty, and I'm
Oh
like, you guys are
gosh.
idiots. He ducked into it. Like
Hmm.
the only thing that matters about that hit is that he ducked into it. The dirty hit was Nixon on Moore, but
Yes.
it's football. Fine. And Nixon wants revenge. You know, he got him once. The Bears got him last time. He wants to win the third matchup. They're taking it like really personal, and their defensive coordinator's like, "This isn't going to be the last time we talk." In his comments, like they're going to win basically, and the Bears are like, "We're taking care of our own business. We're cleaning up what we need to do better." I like the Bears seemingly sounding like the more professional outfit
Hmm.
when you talk to the players. I like what you're getting from guys like Adam Johns in the locker room, who's like, "Hey, this reminds me of the way I'm not saying they're winning the championship, but the way the Blackhawks conducted themselves in their rise to championship caliber. They were that
Interesting.
professional. They had good leadership. It's coming from the players, not just the coaches." And he's like, "That's who it reminds me of." And he covered that team on its
Wow.
ascension. So I think that's kind of cool. And I think all of this is really important in the long term. And I don't know what it means for Saturday, but man, it's been a great season.
It's been fun. It's been so
It's
fun.
been a great season.
Even when they lost the last two, I wasn't that broken up about it. I mean, I was disappointed, of course, but I don't know. Maybe because they had already clinched the playoff spot by then, clinched the division. But I thought no shame in losing to San Fran on the road the way they did, and the Detroit game that was just nothing was right about that game, and it was almost meaningless. Although, good thing the Eagles didn't try to win. Otherwise, they would have had the two seed since the Bears lost their last two.
Yeah, and I think the 2 seed matters some. Like if we're playing the Niners, do you feel better than if we're playing the Packers?
Strangely, yes. That's why I'm not being rational and
That's
objective.
because that's our history, right?
It's
That's
the
our tortured
laundry. Yep,
Bears
that's what.
history.
Yeah, yep,
The Niners were even more of a juggernaut offensively
yep,
for the Bears to try to stop.
yeah,
Or the Rams. I mean, I have nothing to do with the Rams, I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's just the
So
trauma of the Packers. That's all it is. It's
it
just
is. Here's another wrinkle on this game. They have a major rest advantage. They sat most of the starters against the Vikings, and now you get the 1 day short week for the Bears who played everyone and lost CJ Gardner Johnson in the process, though he'd been getting
he was,
toasted like
yeah, he'd been
crazy.
kind of bad.
I mean, cool story, but I think the play wasn't really all that great
Hmm.
lately. And then the biggest of all the wrinkles is has Jordan Love missed enough time to go from a rest advantage to rusty?
Great question.
I really don't know. we're used to him being on a heater at the end of the season. That's one of his things, the Toyota-thon jokes. Which is over. It's too late now.
That's
Take
right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Honda Days or something. I don't know.
Happy Honda days.
To you. No, so I don't know what to think of him either coming into this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very wild thing to try to analyze, and I've been trying to figure out what to think all week.
Do you think that this game means more to the Packers than it does the Bears, just because of where they are in
Yes.
their, LaFleur tenure? This is year 7. They've made the 7th seed the last 3 years. They haven't really reached as well as they did his first couple years. Of course, Aaron Rodgers was still the quarterback at
And
that
I
point.
think we could say, if Parsons and Kraft stay healthy, are they the division winner and this game's up there? I don't know. They had Super Bowl aspirations when they were healthy,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't realistically say about the Bears. But I think the biggest reason it's more important for the Packers is the LaFleur angle because you have the Green Bay beat guys talking about how their new team president said they weren't going to extend them in August and they weren't going to let them go into a lame duck year. So that basically means the extension decision is like now.
Right. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people speculating if he's one and done, they may be like, we don't want to pay you what you think you're worth, and they'd move on.
That blows my
That
mind.
means if we can beat them and get him out, because I think he's a terrific coach.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
That's the thing. Like I don't understand
Because
that.
that's crazy. He just
It's
makes the playoffs
crazy.
every year.
Right. I don't
They
get
got high
it.
standards. I'll give them that. They got high standards.
Mm-hmm.
And what's Jordan Love look like without LaFleur? I don't know.
Great question. Yeah, I don't think
What Caleb
anyone.
look without Ben? We could flip
Uh-huh.
it both ways. But Jordan Love's had LaFleur the whole time he's been a pro, 6 years.
Yep.
So there's some high stakes for them. Whereas the Bears may be thinking, well, we're on the rise. We're not getting rid of our coach.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year to beat him because Mike is out. But I mean, I don't think the stakes are that high for the Bears otherwise.
Yeah.
It'll
I agree.
stink if they lose to Green Bay again. It'll stink to end the season on a sour note. And a few weeks later, everyone's going to be like, man, go get an edge rusher or
Mm-hmm.
a great 3 tech. Go get somebody on the D line, and everybody's going to be jazzed up about next year, basically no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. We were thinking maybe they contend for a wild card this year, or at least I was, and then they go out and win the division while looking okay. Sometimes they've looked great. A lot of the time they've looked good, but they've not been good consistently in every game. They've just been, the last quarter or something is when they finally start playing. But that was enough to win a division. So, yeah.
Well, I
Very
mean, what if they put it all
unusual.
together? What if it's now?
Yes.
I mean, I have just said it. I feel like I've said this a dozen times. I just have no idea.
No idea. I have no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl, regardless if the Bears are in it or not.
That's right. We're supposed to talk about the coach and then do the playoff preview for the rest of the league. What kind of episode is this?
I know. I sure hope the Bears can get Ben Johnson. Oh, they did. That was nice.
You think maybe the Lions can lose? No, that was actually for next week because they had the bye.
That's right.
So I guess let's do picks for the Bears game, get that out of our system, and then we can talk about the rest of the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
I want to save the season recap for whenever it's actually over because
Yeah,
we all
that's
know
good.
it's been a good season, but we can go through the highlights because I think there's some super awesome highlights to talk about a different time, but I think this should be the playoff episode.
Okay.
So Bears pack Soldier Field Saturday night. Bears getting a point most places. Statistically, Jordan Love, 3,800 yards, 23 TDs, 6 interceptions. Caleb, as we all know, 3,942 yards,
So close.
27 touchdowns, 7
Nice.
interceptions. Jacobs, 900 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns. Swift, 1,087 and 9 TDs. A lot of that is Monungai gets a lot of the action, especially on the goal line. Leading receiver for the Bears. Do you know this one?
It's Loveland, isn't it?
It's Loveland at 700 yards, 6 TDs.
Crazy.
It's gonna be a stud.
Yes, he is.
I think they got 4 guys with 600 yards, so they spread the ball out well.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, there's sort of an irony there because so did the Packers, and Dobbs leads them. However, the warlord Tucker Kraft would have definitely blown that out of the water if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Yes.
Rankings. When the Bears, and I know yards isn't the best way to do it. I get it. I'm into the analytics too, but I'm just trying to do it quick without
Sure.
having to look up 500 things. Offense overall, the Packers have the 15th best offense, 18th in the pass, 15th in the run. That is lower than I would have thought.
Yeah, that is lower. I would have
That's
thought.
like that's a middling offense, like
Uh-huh.
statistically by the yards. Bears defense, you want to talk middling? We can do better than that. In yardage, we are 29th. And by
Oh
better, I mean
gosh.
worse.
Oh
22nd against the pass, 27th against the run. That one bugs me the most.
yeah, for sure, for real.
And of course, led the league in turnovers, which saved them. Were really good in the red zone, which saved them a little bit more.
Hmm.
And oddly enough, not half bad on third down. But the problem when they play the Packers has been 6, 8 yard runs on first down all the
Yeah,
time.
yep.
And so that's another key to the game. When the Bears have the ball, it's the counted everybody yardage per game. The Bears, the sixth best offense in the NFL in yards per game.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Pinch me. Passing, the Bears are 12th and on their way up. That was way lower before.
Yeah.
And rushing, they are down to third now after being first
Okay.
for a little while. Kind
Yeah.
of, get away from it a little bit. Green Bay 12th, 10th, and 18th in those metrics. And
Yeah.
this is why I said run the ball. I
Yeah.
know I've been wanting my whole life for a quarterback this good. But the Ravens just dropped 300 yards on the ground on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do what they did. I know you don't have Derrick Henry, but you do have a 1-2 punch. You might have a better O line. I'm not saying they're going to get 300 yards, but I want the Bears to come out and just physically enforce their will
Yeah.
against a weak run defense. That's your first most obvious step. So, who you got?
Well, I think I'm still going Green Bay in this one. I'm going to say 31-27. That the Bears fall short on a game-winning attempt. I don't know, and a lot of this is still trauma too. I freely admit
So,
that.
are you a
But
meatball because the trauma is lingering, or
that's interesting,
no
isn't it?
longer a meatball because you didn't pick the
No,
Bears? I
I
need a
think
meatball verdict.
I think that's a very interesting question there because I think it is my irrational meatball side that is telling me the Bears don't beat the Packers. They just don't.
Okay. So you're
But
not becoming like the hamburger patty composer
no,
or something else.
no.
Okay.
The diner steak composer.
The
Uh,
chewy, well done steak
that's
composer.
right. Yeah. Um. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm really thinking about the fact that in both regular season games, the Packers were better for most of both games. I'm looking at that
Yeah.
too. So, um, and I think the
Can we
urgency
can we
is
cover a slant and a drag route some
no,
other
we
way?
can't. It's
Jaquan Brisker's right. This is the first time Jaquan Brisker's run his mouth, and I've been like,
yeah.
actually, I concur. Usually I'm
I
like, shut up, Jaquan, but this time I'm like, yeah, what was the plan there? That was
he's
terrible.
right. He's right.
So
Yeah.
that part is also scary. That gets
It's
at
been
them playing better than us. Sorry,
it's been
that
30 years. It's
made
been
me think
30
of that.
years the Bears can't cover a slant against the Packers. 30 years.
Hmm.
Favre in the early 90s on. So
Like, is this baked into like the contract
it
of some
sure,
sort?
sure seems like it. Like it's something, metaphysical or something. Um,
Yeah.
so, and I think I'm partly guarding my heart too and saying the Bears won't win this one. But they still need to prove that they can beat them to me. Because the last time they did beat them, it was aided by a little bit of luck.
It
So,
was some clutch stuff and some luck stuff,
yeah.
which some people would say those are related. All right, to be different, and so I can lord it over you for the rest of time if it
Please.
happens. I'll go ahead and pick the Bears
Bears.
because it's fun, and I'll say it's relatively on brand for the 2025 Bears. 24-22 on a last minute field goal from the kicker everyone disparages, even though
I was,
when you use him right, he's pretty good.
yeah,
But he's got his limitations. I'll say 24-22 Bears, and we all make a bunch of heart attack stroke jokes in
sounds
the
good to me. I would love that. I just need to see it before I start to believe it.
I think you're perfectly reasonable on that, and
Yeah.
I'm only doing this for the pot. I really have no idea.
Unless I
All
see
right, you
the
want to
nail
do the other
marks.
games?
No, but sorry.
Doubting meatball
Doubting
patty
meatball.
composer.
Yeah.
Has this ever happened? I wonder. Somebody's bound to talk about this in the game. in the lead up. So I must have missed it on Twitter probably already. The Rams at the Panthers. That's the first game, Saturday at 3:30.
Mm.
The road dog, I mean the road favorite Rams favored by 10 and a half over the home dogs. And I will say this, and I don't care who it makes bothered. It's stupid that you can win a division sub 500 and get a home playoff game.
Yep.
If you're not even honorable enough to be over 500, you get to go on the road. If you win it at 9 and 8, fine. But the Rams are 12 and 5. They should not be having to fly across the country just because Carolina played in the crappiest division in the sport this year.
Yeah.
It bugs me. I get that the division winner should make the playoffs. I just don't think they deserve a home game if their record is under 500. This is absurd.
Yeah. And it
I
doesn't
hate it.
happen often. This is what, the second or third time, and
Yeah, but it's
but
always
yeah.
irritating to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fired
And
up for no reason.
it does matter though, because the
That
last
could
time the
be a
Bears
factor with the energy level. And Carolina beat them at home once, though. So
and the last time the Bears won a playoff game, they beat Seattle. That was an under 500 team that got a home
yep.
game against the Saints and beat the Saints, even though the Saints were better.
Yeah, and they often win then.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got the cross country thing.
Uh-huh.
All
So it
that
matters,
said,
yeah.
so I only share the spread to sort of show what the national pulse is on how the teams are evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pick with the spread in case people aren't aware. I still think the Rams win this
What do you
game. They're going to
believe?
get their revenge.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think they're loaded. And I think they had the, inside track on the one seed most of the season and then lost it late. I still think they're really good. And they'd probably be my pick to win the NFC still because they really lost to
Okay.
Seattle with a weird fluke play too. If you
Yeah.
think about why they don't have home field
Yep.
and who you got, Rams, Panthers.
Oh, Rams, absolutely. And I think they cover that spread.
All right, Sunday noon, 12 and 5 Buffalo at the 13 and 4 Jaguars. Shades of Packers, Bears. Home teams getting a point and a half.
Mm-hmm. This is
This is
Buffalo's.
a tough one too.
This is it, right? For Buffalo, like, you gotta win this year. No Chiefs, no Ravens, no Bengals.
Maybe they turn it over in the league. Remember how this does this every year? It did it like on steroids this year.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Patriots, Jaguars, Bears, all worst to first.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
That being said, I still think Buffalo wins. I think Josh Allen is still maybe the best player still in the playoffs, or at least
Oh,
one
I
of the
think
top
he's
three.
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't love the rest of that team like
No,
though.
I know.
But they
I
were
don't. Well,
12 and
Cook.
5, so I mean, it doesn't sound they don't feel like they were 12 and 5.
Yeah. James Cook was
Really
had a
good.
good year. He led the league in rushing, I believe. So with that,
I
and with
I want to pick Jacksonville because I think they're being underrated how good a year they had.
mhm.
And Duval
Duval.
guy actually is a good coach.
Yeah, he is.
Trevor had a great year, especially by the time you add the final couple games into it. I mean, man, he played great. He probably should finish third in the MVP. 4,000 yards, 29 TDs, 30 when you add 34 when you add the rushing ones. I don't
Yeah.
remember how many he had on the ground, but he had a good year.
Hmm.
But I want to keep rooting for Josh Allen more, and so I'm picking the Bills for fun.
Okay.
They've also got the whole like been here way more than the other team has factor, which hurts the Bears Packers if you think about it. But
Hmm.
I do think I think both these teams are actually dark horses to win the whole thing,
Okay.
and it's a really really good first round matchup for a 3 versus 6.
Yeah.
3:30 San Francisco at Philly. Philly favored by 6.
That's a big line. But
It is a big line.
San Francisco scored what, 3 last week?
They got
Uh,
so many injuries. Another defensive player went down last week.
yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go
They
with.
seem like they're feast or famine to me,
Hmm. Yeah.
which is kind of what you were just pointing out.
And I'm gonna go with Philly because of that. I think Philly's been a slow cooker, and they're defending champs. So
They're getting their linemen back.
yeah.
They're waking up.
Yep.
Their hangover is over. I'm picking
Hmm.
Philly too.
Yep.
7 o'clock. Chargers, Patriots. 14 and 3 New England Patriots. Crazy.
Crazy.
Line is 3.5. Man, all these teams, it's like other than Green Bay's the only team with a normal record for the round that this is. For,
Yeah.
for the wild cards. I mean, the division winners, it's fine. Buffalo's 12 and 5, Niners 12 and 5, Rams 12 and 5,
Crazy.
Chargers 11 and 6. These are all the wild card teams.
Yeah.
9-7 and 1 is like the normal wild card record. And New England's 14 and 3. I'm picking the Chargers.
Whoa, really?
I looked into it. New
Wow.
England hasn't beaten really any QBs besides Josh Allen.
Okay. All right. I like
Super
it.
easy schedule. So give me the upset. There's my bold prediction to rip off Lincoln
Okay.
Johns.
I was gonna say Patriots, so I'll keep it that way to keep it interesting. Very
There we
nice.
go.
Okay.
All right, last one. For some reason, the league forgot the rule and did not put the Texans on Saturday afternoon. Texans at the Steelers Monday night. Steelers getting 3, another home dog.
That
Give
sounds
me the
right to me.
Texans. I cannot pick a 40-something-year-old who has a hard time moving playing that Texans defense.
Yep. The same. Same. I think Will Anderson is too quick for
Daniil
old
Hunter,
man
too.
Rogers. Yeah, but Anderson, he's the
And I don't really,
stud.
I mean, the poor Baltimore kicker.
I know.
Baltimore had that game
I
won.
know.
Rodgers was magnificent that game. He was
Yeah.
turning back the clock. He did. The fourth quarter, he was crazy again.
Hmm.
But that's a whole different level of defense this particular season. We might be used to the Ravens having that kind of a defense, but they don't. The
We,
Texans defense, I don't think they lose this game.
we saw it week 1 with the Ravens. Remember they collapsed against the
The
Bills?
crazy
We saw that
week
right
one
away.
game. Yep.
Right away. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it
And
sounds
now
good to
they
me.
are
I like
looking
the
for a head coach, which is weird whenever you see a tweet about the
Yeah,
Ravens interviewing someone. I'm like,
that is
18
weird.
years.
That is weird. I have a student here who's a Ravens fan, and he said he wants the Steelers to lose and they fire Tomlin, and then the Ravens can hire Tomlin.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh,
going around on Twitter.
interesting.
I
Okay.
thought hilarious.
Yeah.
Or another funny one was the Ravens hiring Stefanski, and he's really good again. And it will just continue the theme of Baltimore stealing from Cleveland.
Oh,
That's like, oh, that's a low blow.
yeah. That's painful, man.
All right,
Browns lore
so
is
that's
rough.
that's this round in the books. Last thing for you.
Okay.
Which Super Bowl matchup and Super Bowl winner then?
I am not gonna be well. I have the Bears losing tomorrow, so I can't pick them to win the Super Bowl.
That would have been an
Can
amazing
I?
moment in this
There
show.
I think the Bears lose this week, but then bounce back to win the Super Bowl.
Former student Tim would have had a field day.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, wait, you better do the falsetto. You're going to be in trouble
Former
for
student
that.
Tim. Sorry, Tim. I had no beef. I'm sorry, Tim. I was mid thought. All right. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to beat the Denver Broncos for the Super Bowl.
Okay, going with the one seeds.
Yep.
Always at least
I know
logical.
that's not very dramatic, but yeah.
I will avoid the chalk scenario, though. I think Seattle is going to be awfully tough to beat up there in the playoff atmosphere. I'll pick the Rams to be different, but I think that's totally a coin toss. And I hope that's the matchup if the Bears aren't involved, because I think that would be a fun one
Mhm.
to run it back, you know. But I'll just, to be different, take the Rams, and I'll say, gosh, I have no idea in the AFC. I don't. I'll do Josh Allen for fun. Let's get him a ring, but I don't have any faith in his coach, his receivers,
Yep.
half of his defense, and the other half's fine. The running game's good, but let me just pick the best QB left for fun that I would love to see get a ring because he's hysterical.
I would.
Did you
love
see
to
the
that.
old highlights of him at Montana that were making the rounds again this
No, I
week?
did not.
Okay, so the Green Bay backup running back, whatever his name is, something Williams, something.
I don't know.
Ran 19-yard loss. You see that play? It was like
Oh,
hilarious how
yes.
far back he went. So then that's inspired people to pull the Josh Allen Wyoming. Sorry, Wyoming game. He went to Wyoming.
Yeah.
And he does the same thing. He runs backwards forever, but he makes a bunch of guys miss, and it looks like he's going to throw it. He never does, and he just keeps running and making a guy miss and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage and jumps over a guy and then gets helicoptered. And it's like he ran around for like 40 yards for like a 2-yard gain. And people are like, it was always there the whole time.
Yep,
The
yep.
signs were there.
Mhm.
So just for fun factor, let me keep watching that guy play in a year that maybe is going to go down as his best chance. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Just the way everything lined up with no Chiefs, no Ravens, no Bengals. Yeah, I would
I mean,
love to
I
see
could
him win.
I could see this being a changing of the guard here, though, too. Like
Yeah,
the Pats become the perennial contender, and the
again, great.
Ravens bow out and make a bad coach hire, and the Chiefs do bounce back, but not all of them do. Who
Hmm.
knows? But I do think it's surely Josh Allen is sensitive to the idea that the stakes are raised by
Yeah,
this reality.
yeah.
But man, I can't hardly get behind that coach, so this is
I
very
know.
difficult for me.
I would
All right,
love
man, I
the
gotta
Bills.
get going.
Okay, the
Go
Bills
ahead. No,
fans.
go ahead and finish your thought.
I was just saying, I'd love it for the Bills fans too. I'm still old enough to remember them losing 4 in a row in the '90s and
All
how
the pain.
painful. Yeah. So, all right, I'll wrap it up so you can get out of here. Thanks everyone for
Alrighty.
listening. We will check in with you sometime after the Bears Packers playoff game. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe Sunday. We'll see. Enjoy the game, and we will talk to you next time. Bear down, my friends.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Bears. Bears.
I love the Bears.